0547 local time. The Persian Gulf. A formation of Iranian surface-to-air missile batteries activates simultaneously across three separate coordinates. Not a drill, not a provocation. A targeting solution, calculated, coordinated, and aimed at something the radar operators can barely believe they are seeing. A United States Air Force B-21 Raider, ghosting through Iranian airspace at 43,000 feet. The most advanced stealth aircraft ever built. And someone just lit it up. The moment the first radar return flickered across an Iranian operator's screen, something shifted in the geometry of Middle Eastern power. Israel, watching from a network of satellites and signals intelligence platforms scattered across the eastern Mediterranean, logged the event at 05:47:23, 14 seconds before Washington did. That detail matters. It means Israel was already in position, already watching, already calculating what came next. That is not coincidence. That is preparation. The B-21 Raider does not behave like other aircraft. It was not designed to be fast. It was designed to be invisible. Its radar cross-section is estimated at a fraction of a square meter, smaller than a bird, smaller than a drone, invisible to most legacy radar systems still operated by Iranian air defense networks. The Raider does not evade. It simply does not exist to the instruments hunting it. Except on this morning, for approximately 11 seconds, something changed. A Sayad-4 long-range surface-to-air missile battery, upgraded with alleged Russian signal processing components, achieved what no adversary had achieved before in operational conditions: a lock. The lock lasted 11 seconds. In those 11 seconds, the Iranian air defense commander in the eastern sector made a decision that would echo far beyond his control room. He authorized a launch sequence. Two Sayad-4 missiles left their launchers at 05:47:51. The Raider's onboard electronic warfare suite detected the radar illumination milliseconds after lock. The pilot, call sign SBCTR-1, received a threat warning. What happened in the next 40 seconds would determine whether the most expensive and strategically vital aircraft in the American arsenal survived its first real-world hostile engagement. SBCTR-1 did not bank, did not climb, did not deploy flares. Flares are for aircraft that are seen. SBCTR-1 was operating on a different doctrine entirely. The electronic warfare suite engaged in a targeted jamming burst, precise, directional, designed not to blind the radar, but to corrupt the missile's terminal guidance, to make the Sayad-4 believe its target had moved, that the sky was empty. The first missile tracked for 22 seconds before its guidance logic collapsed into confusion. It detonated 600 meters wide and 800 meters low. The second missile never acquired a stable solution. It went ballistic, fell into the Gulf. By 05:49:04, SBCTR-1 had already altered its course by 3 degrees, not fleeing, repositioning. The mission had not been aborted. That is the critical detail that analysts would later dissect in classified briefings from Langley to Tel Aviv. The aircraft was not turning home. It was adjusting to complete its objective. Whatever SBCTR-1 had been sent to photograph, map, or strike, that objective remained active. The Raider continued. The Iranian Air Defense Network scrambled 2 additional radar platforms to reacquire the target. They found nothing. The sky had swallowed it again. At 06:12 local time, Israeli Prime Minister's intelligence advisors delivered a single-page summary of the intercept to the War Cabinet. It contained 3 numbers: the duration of the radar lock, the altitude of the detonating missile, and the post-engagement heading of the American aircraft. The heading told the story. SBCTR-1 was not conducting a reconnaissance pass. It was flying a strike approach vector directly aligned with a hardened underground facility southeast of Isfahan, a facility that Israeli intelligence had been tracking for 19 months, a facility that American diplomats had publicly refused to confirm even existed. Washington's response unfolded not in press conferences or diplomatic cables. It unfolded in the airspace above the Gulf of Oman. Within 4 hours of the Iranian missile launch, 3 additional B-21 Raiders were repositioned from their forward operating location. Not to retreat, to cycle. The rotation pattern was unmistakable to anyone with access to the overhead imagery. The United States was not de-escalating. It was preparing throughput, the capacity to sustain repeated strikes, not a single response. The message required no translation. Iran had fired. Washington had not flinched. It had multiplied. Iran's foreign ministry issued a statement at noon calling the American incursion an act of aggression and declaring the missile engagement a defensive success. The word success did a heavy amount of work in that statement. 2 missiles launched, 0 aircraft destroyed, 0 crew casualties. The target aircraft continued its mission profile. The facility southeast of Isfahan went dark, communications silence, within minutes of SBCTER-1's final approach track being confirmed by signals intelligence. Dark does not mean safe. Dark means they knew what was coming and had no answer for it. Darkness is not defense. It is acknowledgement. Israel watched all of it. Every radar ping, every missile track, every heading change, every repositioned aircraft over the Gulf of Oman. And Israel said nothing publicly. That silence was its own message. Because in the grammar of Middle Eastern strategic signaling, silence from Tel Aviv following a direct Iranian strike attempt on American assets carries a specific meaning. It means Israel was consulted. It means the coordination ran deeper than the public record. It means that what the world witnessed at 05:47 on a Thursday morning over Iranian airspace was not a lone aircraft on a lone mission. It was a demonstration, one that Iran failed to stop, failed to counter, and failed to understand until it was already over. That is the difference between a military with power and a military with dominance. Power can be challenged. Dominance simply happens, and by the time you recognize it, you are already inside its aftermath.